A Star is Born is directed and stars Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, and this is actually a remake of a remake of a remake of an original. I was just trying to remember how many remakes there are. And this is the story of a man who is a very successful musician. His concerts are going well, he's got lots of fans, and then one day he meets this girl, and this girl's got a really natural talent for music. And he wants to help her become a bigger star and to be more famous in the public eye. However, as she becomes more famous and her career starts to skyrocket, his own career starts to take a back seat because he's dealing with the fact that he is getting older, one, and also he's suffering through a major case of either depression, he's alcoholic, and he's going down a downward spiral of life, and he's in a low point. But these two start to fall in love with each other, and the relationship they build throughout is the basis of this film. This movie has been getting praise right out the door. This is now in contention for a lot of people for the Best Picture Oscar nomination. Best Actor has been said, Best Actress has been said, Best Original Song has been said. There have been so many conversations about this film at the award circuit once December arrives, and I absolutely agree with those thoughts. This film is one of the best movies I've seen in the year. This is very affecting. It made me cry a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it actually does tear you up. The performances are all so beautifully handled. Bradley Cooper, once again, is phenomenal. He's a great actor. I've loved him in everything. I love him as this Bradley Cooper. I also like him as a guy who is the greatest shot, the greatest sniper, an FBI agent, a raccoon who talks. He's really good at pretty much everything he does, and over here he's once again fantastic. You're doing a brilliant job with the direction too. The standout, however, is Lady Gaga, who is rightfully being considered, hopefully, for a Best Actress nomination. She should definitely get nominated. Her performance is probably the emotional center of the entire movie. As Jackson goes through this descent into a worse bottom than the next one, she's constantly there, and you're basically her throughout the entire film, watching this downward spiral happen. She pretty much makes herself the character is you. You're watching all of this happen. It's beautifully done. Her performance, like I said, is very affecting. You really care, and her dialogue is also great. And the conversations that she has with Jackson throughout the film were fascinating. There's an amazing first act sequence where they meet and they're first at a bar, and then there's a little fight that happens, and then they're talking outside in a parking lot. That entire 15 to 20 minutes of film is one of my favorite moments of film in 2018. I absolutely love the dialogue and the way that was done. Once the performances come up though, those are also amazing. The soundtrack for this film is beautiful. The songs are beautifully shot, they're beautifully sung. The performances are all live performances. That was also really great. The first time that Jackson and Ali take the stage together and they sing "Shallow," which has already been released online, is fantastic. It's beautifully done. Yeah, that actually was the first little teary moment I had because it was just happy tears. There's another point where it's not so happy tears, but it's tearful because of how gut wrenching it is when it's shot. Which is something else I have to say. This is a pretty affecting movie. Like I said, this is a man who is dealing with a terrible time in his life right now, and as you see him go down that along with her, it becomes hard to watch. It's definitely hard to watch, and once you're at the end of the film, you're just yeah. You can't not be affected by it emotionally. You have to be a robot to not be affected by this film. Now, it's not, like I said, the most original thing ever. You've seen this before, but I'm also concerned about how the film takes this concept that is done before and puts its own spin on it. And this film definitely does that. I'm trying to think right now of problems that I have with the film, and I really can't think of anything. I'm pretty much on board with all of it. The film really worked on all accounts. Sometimes I guess the pacing could have been a little bit better, but that's a minor nitpick. It wasn't something that I really minded, and it didn't really take away from the movie that much. I just thought it could have been a little better at a couple of points. That all said, so A Star is Born, like I said, is one of my favorite movies of the year. Definitely check it out. I kept it a little brief. I know I haven't gone into as much detail because I think I would rather you just see it for yourself and experience it for that. You know, the trailers and everything you've seen, they don't even come close to doing it justice. This film just blew me away. Like I said, one of my favorite movies of the year. Definitely check it out. I'm gonna give A Star Is Born a 10 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. This is going to be a pretty busy week. There's going to be reviews for Bad Times at the El Royale, First Man, The Haunting of Hill House. I'm going to try and do as much as I can with the time I have. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.